When you're out camping, you don't just want a blanket. You want a camping blanket. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. You want to get out, enjoy that outdoors. And so I think you want get out gear. This is a down puffy blanket, and you can see how small it is. It is super light. So if you're not showing off these kinds of guns, you can still carry this little bad boy around. This is really exciting because I have gone on some trips, and actually I went on a recent trip where we were actually able to sleep in a little cabin, and it had bunk beds, and so you could absolutely lay out your sleeping bag and sleep inside, but because it was a little more luxurious than standard camping accommodations, you could actually lay your sleeping bag out like a mattress, almost like a bedspread. And then if you had this, which I didn't at the time, but that's why I picked it up, had another blanket to pull on top of you, you'd be out camping in the wilderness, but feel like you're sleeping in a luxurious hotel. So I wanted to show you this. I'm really excited about this. As you can see, it has like a rollover top here, kind of like a dry bag, but this is nylon as far as I can tell, and maybe it will provide some water protection. Little loop right here, so you can carabiner that sucker on, and then a buckle right there. Now I can open this up, and now I have a very large stuff sack, which is nice because sometimes when the stuff sacks are just about the right size, they can be hard to get them back in. Now if I pull up this blanket again, super light, easy to pack, but what you can see here is it looks a lot like a sleeping bag, but it's not a sleeping bag, it's just a puffy blanket. Now I want to show you that it is nylon on both sides. It's got a really silky, smooth feel. I mean, that feels nice. Oh, yeah. I'm going to sleep au naturel in this. Beautiful royal blue, red stitching along there. And what I want to do here is just kind of open it up as much as possible. And I want to show you right up here, we get some snaps on one of these sides, little plastic snaps. So if I open this up, just like this, now the blanket is in its full, uncompressed length. And I would call this maybe 6 feet long by 4.5 feet tall. I'll put the actual dimensions in the description there. But what I love about this is that it's thin, and yet it's stitched in a way that everything is compartmentalized here. So the down that's spread out through here, while it's not super thick, you won't confuse this for a down comforter on a bed. Every one of these little squares is filled with this down so that you don't have it just accumulating on the sides where it's not needed. You have it spread throughout the entire blanket, and I tell you what, I could hide myself completely underneath this thing if I wanted to, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just wrap myself up with this. I tell you what, when it's cold outside, you're going to be super happy that you have this. Even just draping it over me just like this right now, I can actually feel it trapping my body heat. Now, in a survival situation, you get really cold, something like that, you can actually drape this over you just like this, and then light, and don't light the blanket on fire, but light a candle under here, and this will raise the temperature underneath this blanket by like 20 degrees pretty quickly. So it's great not only just to make your wilderness experience a little bit more civilized, but it also might be great in a survival situation as well. And then if I take these snaps and snap them back up, it's only on one side of the blanket, but what I can do here is clip these back together just like this, and what it does is it just folds this in half. So if you are just one person, you want it from your feet to your neck right here, and you want it doubled up, you can do that. You could even use this closed end, even though it opens up between the snaps here, almost like a sleeping bag, and just step into this sucker so that you have it wrapped around you just like that. Or even you throw it over your head like this, you could use it like a poncho, which is pretty cool. So pretty versatile. Man, this is so warm. Tell you what, if I were sitting out in cold, windy conditions like this, covered up, I'd be a pretty happy camper. In fact, I just might wear this all the time. This get out gear camping blanket is warm, it's soft, it's compact, it's light, it's easy to travel. It just might save your life, but I tell you what, if you take this on your next outing, it's gonna help you live a lot better. So I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter. Peter Von Panda. Peter Von Panda.
When you're out camping, you don't I can't speak.